Good evening, friends. Let's begin with the critical review for the qualitative studies, and this is the guidelines for conducting a critical review, and it is in the format of the form, and this is a version 2 for the qualitative studies. And I would say that this has been designed by Letts L, Wilkins S, Law M, Stewart D, Bosch J, and Westmoreland M, and the entire review form was created in 2007. Okay, and this is called as the version 2 of it and not the first version. Maybe later on I'll show you what are the differences between these two versions also, and we will find out the differences. Now, introduction to this particular critical review form, and this is actually an exercise which I conduct for my students also and in my workshop. So I thought, okay, let me proceed further with each one of you also. These guidelines accompany the critical review form for performing the qualitative studies, and it was developed by the McMaster University Occupational Therapy Evidence Based Practice research group and revised by Letts and the others, and this was published in 2007. These are basically written in very simple language, and we can understand it very easily, so that researchers, scholars, as well as those individuals coming from the schools of medicine or nursing or surgery, or even I would say the other schools of medicine like Yoga School of Medicine, then I have seen Ayurveda School of Medicine, then I'm also looking forward for different other schools of medicine, the traditional ones like Charaka School or Shushruta or Tibetan schools of medicine, wherein they are looking at a very different kind of medicine in combination with the other thing. Now, similarly, astromedicine and neurological medicine is also stepping into the society, and we can see for those forms also these kind of review forms are very, very important. Now, here you will look, that's number one. Number two, this particular form is used exclusively for conducting the critical reviews on the literature. When you are doing your review of literature, that is the time when you will use these forms for yourself. Now, guidelines are provided for each and every question on the left hand column of the form, and instructions or questions in the comments column of each component. For example, pick up any paper, qualitative paper, place it in front of you, and this particular review form is there, and the space, we will see how to fill it up and how to even read it. This is what I call it as reading the paper in the first go and making it compulsory that yes, you are keeping this particular form and you are doing it simultaneously. Okay, so you can do it either in the hard copy format, or you can do, if you are comfortable, you can do it simultaneously on the computer also side by side. Now, had it been a face-to-face kind of a workshop in a classroom, I could have showcased to you as to how you're supposed to take out a hard copy of a paper, pen or a paper, I would say pen, pencils or markers with you, number two. Number three, how to do that particular reading simultaneously. It itself is an exercise for us, and we are supposed to take care. In case you don't like to be present in the physical, looking at the pandemic times right now, so when we are on the online mode, you can do it even on the computer, and you should make yourself comfortable with the help of the technology has given you. You don't have to use those pencils and markers, physical ones. You can use the ones which are available, and I'll be showcasing, since we are on the online mode, I'll be showcasing the only one. The first one that you are able to see is what I'm doing on PDF. It is called as the PDF annotator, and you can see that I am reading, as well as if I want to underline something, then I can use this one and I'm taking care of it. So can you see, if I want to use a different color, I can use a different color or a bigger one, and I can take it. Now, I don't like to ruin my page. I hate it. Now, unnecessarily I don't want any unkind of thing. So here I have removed them. Now you will see that these are available. Examples relate here in this case, since the thing is for the occupational therapy schools of medicine, I would say. However, I'm using this one so that we are also able to understand, and some of you who are serious into the qualitative study, not that the quantitative I won't be showcasing to you, I'll be showing to you both of them, and this has really helped not only for myself, even for the others also. Now, these guidelines assist readers to complete critical appraisal of qualitative research papers. Number one, examine, it's not just one paper. Slowly you will see that you can proceed further with the multiple one. So in recent years there has been, I would say, an increase in the number of meta-synthesis articles that are examining more than one qualitative study and synthesize the data from these studies together. Now maybe later on I will discuss more about how to proceed further with meta synthesis also. We have looked at systematic literature review, meta analysis. Now comes in meta synthesis also side by side. You cannot do these three things in whatever way you feel like without understanding the appropriate way in which it has to be conducted. Then you will see that the approaches to conducting meta synthesis are still emerging. Now majority of us, we are are not even aware that yes, how to proceed further from reviews to I would say writing a systematic literature review, then proceeding further with meta analysis, and then stepping into meta synthesis also. Now criteria for critical appraisal of meta synthesis are not yet well established. Now we have seen what are the various criteria which are present for writing a quali paper. However, when we are talking about the meta synthesis, now we do not know. Like for example, if you are writing for meta analysis, there the criteria are very serious, and we know what those principles are, protocols are, and how to proceed further. However, with meta synthesis it differs again from I would say school to school. Now over time we anticipate that we may either revise this review form or incorporate meta synthesis or develop another review form. So that's the I would say a dilemma for the researchers to understand when the choices are given. You want to go for a meta synthesis one, you want to develop a new I would say review form, or you would like to be happy and use the present version of it. So there are certain things that they are talking about. Now here if you are using, just like in scales, when we are using, we go ahead and we cite it the similar way. You have to go ahead and you have to understand, and you have to give the full reference of it. So critical review components, I'll show you the grid that is formed of this one later on. Let us first focus on the form and see what all things are given to us so that we are able to understand them. So here when we are talking about critical review format, in this there are various components are also present. We have to understand first and foremost. Now this is the first one that you need to understand, and what is it? Citation. You can also call it as reference for yourself, and you can now I hope so I have my paper for which I'm doing my ROL. I can just show it to you. Just give me a moment, let it pop up, and maybe you would be able to have a look at it. Now this is one format. This is something that I will showcase later on, and let's see in which I have done the in-depth part of it. Yes, here it is. Yeah, so see, this is the grid that has been formed. So rather than citation, what you can write down here as the reference. Okay, so here what do I mean? So this is the complete paper. written, let's say I'm doing writing a paper on alcohol abuse, especially for some individuals, and how to tackle them. That's one of the paper I'm working on, and these are my review of literature, which I did it. I mean, it's not a review of literature for something else, and I'll share it later on. So the reference would be that in the Excel sheet, when you are writing, it would be written complete. I would say the details that you are going to take about that particular paper, like who are the authors, then which year it was published, and the entire citation. You can copy it as it is. However, when you are going to jot down in the Word format, let me see if I can bring out, or maybe later on I'll show you the paper part of it, so that okay, that I will go ahead later on, maybe that will be better. Now so you have understood the citation of it, and in the paper, not writing the complete reference to it, you can just refer to it, saying that yes, this is the author, comma, the year. That is it. Include a full title. Now, when you are preparing your own sheet, as I have shown to you right now, you have to include a full title. Let me show you first of all how the paper looks like, the review form looks like for you. This at least I can show it to you before reading out each one of them. I mean, it's a wonderful exercise for us to do, and that's why I was telling to you that when we are looking forward, then we are supposed to understand that yes, this is how I'm supposed to proceed further, and go ahead and understand how to write a paper, taking care of it. Now in the classroom, what happens, or when we are taking the research methodology classes or the sessions or the workshop, we really I make it a point that yes, a paper has been given to them, the participants come, and we are really showcasing how to go ahead and take care of the entire process of the doing the ROL, that is review of literature, and especially in this kind of an exercise also side by side. Now I think it is there for me in the other format. Let me see if I am able to get for you. Should be there. Anyway, I'll show it to you in my next video. Include a full title, all authors, last name, initials, then full journal title. Now I would say last name, initial, depending upon what variety of you are really looking for, that whether it is in Harvard style or APA style or MLA, choice is yours. According to that, you will have to go ahead with the description of the authors also. Full journal title, and then now this is very important. Now sometimes I have seen, especially in Google Scholar, if you are noting down, it will not give you the complete name of the journal. It will simply say J something else. Now I was looking into it, and I thought, should we go ahead and enter it just like that, or can we is my Google Scholar open? It should be in some form. Yes, here it is. Now if I go ahead and I don't know whether in this case, let me see if I'm able to find out. This is it. Now here I get complete name of journal. There are cases wherein you will see that it will not give you the complete name of the journal, only part of it is given to you. At that time you really get irritated, and you have to write the complete one. Okay, now I'll show you later on again this part, or I'll keep that one open so that you are able to understand it. So this ensures that other person would easily retrieve the same article. Okay, that's number one. Number two, study purpose. Now when you keep a paper in front of you and you are reading it, okay, you have to go step by step like this. You have completed with the citation. This is second part, wherein you are talking about the study purpose. Here you are saying, asking them, was the purpose and or research question stated clearly? Now you see, if you go to Emerald or Taylor and Francis or some other journals, I'm including the ones that I keep reading about, especially PLOS or let's say BMJ for schools of medicine or healthcare or drugs and alcohol. I mean, there are certain journals, as you read them, you will see that they specify that yes, aim or objective or focus is there or not. Second one, whether the methodology is present properly or not, have they given to you that or not. Then what was the method that they have used. Next one, you will see they'll be talking about the results, then the conclusion, or if you want, you can go ahead and you can increase your Excel sheet and you can write about gaps or limitations, future scope, all these things you can enter, and you will see that at the end of the day, when you have completed, as I keep telling to some of the scholars, that maybe first day it might look quite painful. Oh my God, I have to do so much of reading. However, trust me, if you today you make it a KRA of yours that yes, I'm going to complete with one paper, tomorrow you will see that instead of one paper, you might do two papers. Next day, rather than two papers, you will increase it to three. So as you are improving your reading styles, you will see that this becomes a very easy tool, and a time comes when you don't require 2 times reading of the same paper or 3 times of reading. You can do it immediately, and at a glance you can come to know what is the mistake in that particular paper, as some of the professors or learned people are able to take care of it. So in the second, it's basically the study purpose. So here the question is, was the purpose or the research questions which are present in that paper stated clearly for you or not? The purpose is usually stated briefly. Now you see, when you are reading the paper, it is not just reading, you are understanding the style in which I would say the research question also has been formatted. Nobody tells you in the workshop as to how to design a research question. Now sometimes I used to wonder, before I stepped into the research methodologies and understanding the entire process, I myself was wondering, how do people really come up with this question? You see, unless and until there is some kind of a thing available, you cannot come up with that research question just like that. There must be something. So here you will find it out as to how, while you are reading, the entire thing comes into your picture also side by side. And then they're telling you stated briefly in the abstract of the article, and again in more detail in the introduction. It may be phrased as a research question also. Now here they have just given you like this. However, if you read serious papers, which I'll show you the differences that I see amongst the papers, and I was quite surprised to see that in one paper the authors have put in so much of effort that they are writing each and everything step by step, and you are able to see the flow in the research itself. In some paper I find that artificiality or superficiality is it seems as though that yes, I'm interested only in writing a paper and getting it published by XYZ means. I'm not interested to know how to go about it and how to even in certain workshops when I attend as to how to write a paper, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not going to name anybody, however, or neither quote them. However, you should see whether the flow of that particular thing, because you are there, you are a learner, and you are supposed to understand it. A clear statement of purpose or research question helps you determine if the topic is important for you, relevant and of interest to you. Because you see, you have to write a section on background and rationale also, for whether you go in for a master thesis that you're writing, or an MPhil dissertation, or a PhD thesis. Choice is yours. A mini thesis at MA level. However, you should know what is the background, and from the background what is next that you have to enter, so that you are able to know. In the same manner, when you read a paper, paper the study purpose has been clearly mentioned or not. For future references, it is useful to provide a summary of the purpose. Number one, a research question in the comments section is also there, so that you or someone else can quickly get a sense of the article. So, when you have written that and you show it to somebody else, okay, I have read this particular paper, let's say, and you give it to me, ma'am, I have read this paper and these are my observations. Now, when I read it, I don't have to read the actual research paper. You have done for me and I have the complete idea. I just look at it and I say, oh, wow, well done. Okay, so that is how they are asking you to do. Now, do you understand the rigorous in which with which this particular review form comes in front of us and how well we can go ahead? Next comes what they call it as the literature, and this is again something that we all have to understand. Now, this is step number 3 that you need to remember, and here they are telling you was relevant background literature reviewed properly. Okay, that's number 1. A review of the literature should be included in an article describing each I would say research to provide some background to the study. It should provide synthesis of relevant information such as what was the previous work or research done, discussion of the whatever the topic is. Here this is clinical importance of the topic. However, I would say even if you are coming from the management or commerce or finance, economics, humanities, political science, let's say, or English literature, whatever, film studies, if you are coming in, theater studies, dancing, visual arts, performing arts, you name it and you can just go ahead and you can take care of it at this level. Review of the literature could include both qualitative as well as the quantitative evidence related to that particular study purpose. So here they are not biased that okay, I'm not going to focus on qualitative. Excuse me, you are supposed to focus on that also, because it is not just the mixture of various subjects, it is even the research. What qualitatively researchers have said, now what the action theorists are telling you, what the empirical researchers have given the information, what industrialists have published, and now what academicians are telling you. All these things have to be kept together and you're supposed to go ahead with them. It identifies gaps in current knowledge and research about the topic of interest and thus justifies the need for the study being reported. So you need to justify that yes, I can see this particular gap and I want to proceed further. The justification for the study. Now, for example, I know it very well when I was doing my MA. My teachers were really interested to understand whether this person will move ahead for further research or she will just say goodbye after her MA level and she will just quit her studies. However, the moment I raised my questions, the teachers understood that yes, she is keen and she is looking for some kind of answers, solutions to her answers, and then she would like to proceed further. Because my specialization area were I would say philosophy of mind, not word, was अभी भी मेरे को है philosophy of mind and I would say logic or philosophy of language. When we picked up these 2 or 3 papers, we saw that yes, the way I questioned, I literally was deadly against certain things and I had to question them, and God bless me, there were certain things also that took place naturally that I had to proceed further for my future studies in that manner. So it's the same thing. Why I'm quoting my experience, because that's my experience. Now I do not know about your individually. Each one of you must have got some kind of an experience at MA level. Now MA, MCom, whatever your field is, or MBA, at that time the raising of the questions which allowed you to move ahead for your higher studies, or is it just out of fun that you want to do? I have seen some of my friends, they made it very clear and they told me that yes, they are more interested to proceed further. So I think I'm going to stop here and let me come up with yet another video wherein I'll be discussing and continuing with this discussion. Till then, thank you and take care. Bye.